Yo, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to cover two labs, okay? Because this first one's very quick. It wants basically to show you guys how to anonymously traverse the internet and things like that. I think that's pretty self-evident that VPNs and proxies are what you're looking at. So I'm not going to go into super detail about them. But what I'm going to do is just show you guys some of the ways, I guess, that you can do this. And I'm also going to tell you about the tool they want you to use. It's a paid tool. You have to pay, and you get a 15-day free trial or something like that. So I'm not gonna do that for you guys just because it's not worth it. It's a super simple tool. It's just a proxy chain is basically what it is. I don't even remember the name of it off the top of my head. Let me look here. Proxy switcher is what it's called. Um, I don't use it. It's the same thing as basically using Tor. If you guys are familiar with how Tor works, you're gonna hop different hosts. Proxies do the same thing. A proxy just makes the request come from whatever host you identify. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys how to use Proxy Chains on Linux because I think Proxy Chains is a very good tool on Linux if you're trying to be anonymous. If you don't know what Proxy Chains is, it basically um, by default we'll use Tor, and what that does is it uses Tor's hosts as your proxies. Okay, so let me show you guys what we do here. So first thing you have to do is if you don't have Tor, you have to do apt get install Tor. I already have it. Okay, so then we do service start Tor start. It should already be started, so I don't know if it'll even pop up. Yeah, so I already have it started. So basically what we're doing here is we enabled Tor. By default, Proxy Chains is already on Linux, but by default, it's going to use Tor. So what that means, if you guys aren't familiar, Tor is how you get to the dark web, deep web, things like that. But basically, Tor is just an anonymous browser. Now keep in mind that only people that can see what you're doing, I guess, is the exit node, and the entry node can see the destination or can see the source, and the exit node can see the destination. Now keep in mind, NSA, all those corporations, they do create nodes for this. So it's not anonymous the way you think. If you think you're just going to be able to use this and do whatever you want, you're not. You'll get caught. So keep that in mind. Be careful with it. You can also stumble upon different things that you don't really want to find, I guess, but you'd have to really kind of go looking for it. So now that we got that explained, what Tor is, basically it uses 3 jumps. So I'll show you what it does here. So we'll go ahead and do proxy chains. So if in Linux, if you type proxy chains before any command, including an nmap or anything like that, it's going to use the proxy. Now it's going to be much slower. Keep that in mind too. And so I'll show you here. We're going to do Firefox, what's my IP? And you'll see the random IP it gives me here. And look how slow it is compared to a regular browser. Keep that in mind. Okay, so you see this is a random IP. That is not my actual IP. So keep that in mind. And you notice it says your host name is tor15quintex.com. So you can see that alone right there. Anything you do, any command you do here is going to use that chain. Okay? So that's important to know, because if I did an nmap or something, and I'm not going to do a bunch of commands with this because I don't want you guys to basically sit here all day, because that's what it's going to do. If you try and nmap something, it'll work, but it does take time, so you have to have time and you have to be slow, methodical about it. So that's proxy chains. Super simple. You type proxy chains, type your command, whatever you're trying to do on your system on Linux, and boom, you're in. Alright, so let's go ahead and clear this out. Now we'll show you guys, we've got a Windows server here running with Wireshark, okay? And what I'm going to show you guys here is basically the difference on how to tell. So I know if you use nmap, you can tell OS detection. I'm going to show you guys how to use OS detection basically from just Wireshark, okay? So we know the IP for this is, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and start monitoring. Okay, and we're going to pull up my browser here, and we're just going to go to the website. Okay, so the one I have running on it, I think it's 135. Okay, so here's my website running on it. Now let's look at this, okay? So we can stop it. We did what we needed to, okay? And I don't actually know the IP of this computer right here. Let's go ahead and pull it up. All right, what do we got? All right, so we're looking at 192.168.791. It's probably the 23 one, I would say, most likely. Okay, so first thing we're going to do here, guys, is once we find it, right, so we want the info from it. That's the main thing we want. Go ahead and extend this. Can't really extend that any further. So we're going to look for the ICMP packet from it. So what we'll do is, okay, so we requested it. That's going to give us the SYN, SYNAC, all that crap. So we can see that we're getting information to it, right? So now what we're going to do, we're going to continue that saving, is we're going to pull up the command prompt and we're just going to ping it, right? Because we want an ICMP packet. So we're going to do 192.168.23.35. Is that what I said? That's what I said. Yep. Okay. So we've got the pings coming. Okay. So did I ping the wrong IP? Maybe I did. I don't know. What did I ping? 192.168.23.35. Isn't that what I said? 23.135. Oh, I put 35. Okay, so that's my bad. 135. Okay. So now we'll ping it. Now we got the ICMP packet. Boom. Okay. Now we can come here. We can stop it. We got what we wanted. I just messed up the IP. Right there is what we're looking for, right? So just with a Wireshark connection, we can see here what system they're running, okay? Now, this is a kind of backwards OS detection, right? Because someone would have to connect to you to see it. But see that time to live is 128? That's a Windows machine, okay? That's a Windows machine. And I'm going to show you the difference right here, okay? So we'll go ahead and continue without saving. We'll pull up our Linux machine, and we'll go ahead and ping 192.1. Actually, we'll stop Tor just in case. I don't think it's going to do anything, but we'll stop it just in case. So now we'll ping 192.168.23.135, and we'll go ahead and ping it. There won't be a response, but we can see it here. Okay, we'll stop it. We'll stop it. Now look here. See that time to live? It's 64. Okay, that's a Linux machine. So while you aren't getting version numbers or anything like that, you can at least tell if you're running a machine or something and you think something's fishy, whatever, and you run Wireshark on it, and you don't own any Linux machines at your home, but Linux machines are connecting, or trying to connect, I guess you'd say, that's kind of a problem, right? But you can see how OS detection kind of works in this sense, and it's not really it's not that it's not useful, it's more useful on a local machine than it is, obviously you can't go run Wireshark on a far end machine and then try and see what the time to live is on the machine connecting, right? But if you can get a response from a ping, there you go. You have time to live 64. That's going to be your Linux machines, and the 128 is going to be your Windows machines. So these are two very simple labs, guys. I didn't want to drag these on. They're very simple, very easy to do, but they're important to know, because if you see that, you need to know what that is, okay? You need to know the difference in that. Same with the 128. You need to know that's a Windows machine, just like you need to know and understand how proxy chains work, okay? Proxy chains, again, it's just jumping from proxy to proxy so that no one actually knows where the destination and source is except for the first node and the final node, okay? So keep this in mind, guys. This is super simple stuff, and I understand this is kind of a a wasted video because you need to understand it, but this is something that you could do in 5 minutes and understand it pretty quickly. But this is in the book, and this is a CEH lab, so I wanted to get it out there for you guys. I thought about skipping the proxy one just because of how super simple it is. This is just good information. I wouldn't say you necessarily had to see it to understand it. You could have just understood that 64 is Linux and 128 is Windows, but I still wanted to get them up there for you guys and show you in case some of you guys do see it and get an idea or think of something that someone else didn't, something like that. So keep this stuff in mind. This shows you how good of a tool Wireshark can be too. So keep this stuff in mind, guys, and hopefully this was helpful. Again, I'm gonna try and get a better video up or a longer video. And I know for some of you guys, some of the stuff might be dry, but this is all important for CEH because this all encompasses. This is stuff that you need to know to build up. And don't worry, we are going to get into more advanced stuff like wireless penetration testing, stuff like that. But you have to understand these basics and understand what you're looking at in order to keep it going. So hopefully this helped you guys. Let me know if it did in the comments below. Once again, go ahead and hit that like button if you like this. If you don't dislike it. Just let me know in the comments that, hey, this was too dry, whatever, and we'll try and get some more on there. If we have any more dry labs like this, what I might do is throw them with a good lab and just kind of throw these in there on the end or the front, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's it, guys. Let me know what you guys think below, and thanks for watching.